I'm gonna make the argument that dropshipping is a better option than college. Before we get into this, I know I've made a few videos just explaining my situation with high school and my thoughts on college. I might explain in some video what my plans are with college if I'm gonna pursue education in the school system sense. But with dropshipping specifically, there's a lot of different argumental points that I can take in different stances I'm gonna be taking inside of this video that basically show that that makes more sense than doing college just because of a lot of different factors which I'm gonna explain inside of here. First of all, I disagree with the structure of school, especially college. Now, a lot with high school and middle school as well, but college is a business, a massive business. And I think people are starting to realize that there's gonna be a shift. There has to be a shift because as I'm gonna explain in this video, it's not working. It's not working as well as it used to. Things are just becoming less and less effective. And at some point that's gonna crash. It might be in a few decades, it might take decades to change, but it will. So essentially, I wanna make the argument that dropshipping and kind of what that entails would be a better option than college. I'm just gonna jump right into it, you guys. And again, don't hate me if you're going to college. By the way, I wanna get this out of the way first. If you're going to college for a specific job that requires a degree and that's what you wanna do, that's what will fulfill you, make you happy, I 100% support that. That's the only case. Too many people go to college just because that's what the normal thing is. That's what they think will make them successful, make them money. That's what their friends are doing. That's what their parents want them to do. That's not the right way. It's a waste of money. As you see, student debt, we're going to talk about that here as well. Huge, absolutely huge. So first of all, with dropshipping, and this is why I can really validate saying dropshipping over college, because you don't have to just dropship. If you learn how to do dropshipping, you have transferable skills. You can apply that into so many different businesses that you can run for yourself. And let's say for whatever reason you can't figure out how to make money. I'll hire you. 10 other people, 1,000 other people will hire you because you have a legitimate skill. If you have a skill that makes money, you will never not have money. You will always be able to make that money. It's as simple as that. And people going to college, they come out with a degree, not a skill. So it's like a lot of people are, we'll talk about this here in a second, but their degrees don't exactly relate to what they end up doing, which is, it doesn't make sense to me. So transferable skills, that's basically leading into other businesses. So for me, mastering drop shipping, I can take those skills like with advertising, marketing, take that into other companies and create more revenue through that. So being able to have multiple income streams, that's huge. That's something you don't get with college, okay? You're having one job. You go to school, you get a degree. Let's say you're, I don't know, an engineer. You have one job, you're an engineer. What happens if you get fired? What happens if that company goes under? Your one income stream is gone. I would never be able to enter into a rent payment, a car payment, insurance, all these different things, and even provide for a family with one income stream. That doesn't make sense to me. I used to question my parents on this, like how? What happens if it goes away? Everything is done. Like you're gonna die, basically. You're not gonna die, but it's like you're out of money. You have no income. It doesn't make sense to me. So being able to have the transferable skills that lead into other things, you can build multiple income streams. And even inside of the cap of drop shipping directly, you can build multiple stores, which is multiple income streams. So that's one thing. This is another thing that I'm big on. College, it takes a lot of time. School itself takes a lot of time. You spend like 15 years of your life. I think you start going when you're like 3 or whatever, up until the point when you're roughly 18. From there you go to college. And you can do that for, usually it's on average 4 years. And there's even more schooling on top of that for further more advanced degrees. Speed, that's slow. 4 to 5 years, 6 years, that's ridiculous. Drop shipping, it probably won't even take you a year to figure it out. A year, let's say it even takes you a year. Now you can immediately start building an income. And just because you go to school for 5 years does not mean you're gonna have an income after 4 years or whatever. It doesn't mean because you go to school, you get that degree, well now you're starting a whole nother issue, which is finding a job, which seems to be increasingly difficult nowadays due to the fact that having a degree is no longer rare. It used to be a positive ROI to have a degree. For like the last 30, 40 years, whatever, that was great. That was the structure that worked. But as I'm explaining, like I said in the beginning of this video, that's not working anymore. It's not rare. The unemployment line, first of all, is huge and it's not accurate. The numbers you can Google right now are not accurate. The government's not even releasing those accurate numbers. There's been a whole issue with that, but it's like so many people are standing in this unemployment line and their degrees don't even relate to what they end up doing because they have to take a job to make money. So that's just where I kind of really see things falling into place. Now, student debt, this is one that's tough. I know a lot of people's parents pay for their school, which can lead into a whole nother issue of, hey, those parents can't afford it, but they're sending their kid to school because that's what they believe is best. That's what all their friends are doing, and they want to, make their kids seem the same. So that's a huge issue. Also, a lot of students keep taking on this debt. Students are taking on debt not really understanding and fully just grasping what that responsibility is. First of all, you can't get out of it. Let's say everything goes, bottoms up and you're screwed, you have no money, no job, whatever. You still have that debt. You can't declare bankruptcy to get out of that. It's ridiculous. So it's like the worst form of debt you could ever have. I could never want to take that on. That would be absurd. Not to mention how large it is. You come out of school into a job, let's say, what's the average? Paying like $60,000 a year, which is considered good apparently. $60,000 a year, and you have $200,000 worth of debt, or $100,000, whatever it is for you. That's a huge amount of money to pay back. That's a huge responsibility. And then as kids move into relationships, they get married, there's an issue there. That becomes a problem. Multiple payments, you have those 2 school payments with these only two income streams from 2 different people. That's a huge issue. Why would you want your school and the debt that comes off of that? For a lot of people, this ends up happening, getting in the way of your relationships. What's the number one cause of divorce? Money. What's the number one cause of tension in a relationship, which then leads to divorce? It's money. You should never have money be a problem in your life, ever. Money should never be an issue. I don't understand why so many people struggle with this. Actually, I do. It's because of the school system. It's because back in how you were conditioned in elementary school, leading up into middle school, I've looked back at this and been like, wait, they were doing this? Like, just all the little things that they're putting in place, they're pushing you into these different pieces of your mindset and trying to like corral you basically. Now, as for this whole thing of like drop shipping specifically, I'm just saying and using that as an example, but learning a business model to build that skill, in my opinion, is much more valuable in college. Now, a lot of you guys are asking, am I gonna go to college? No, I don't plan on it as of now. Will that change? Maybe. Maybe I'll have a change of heart. I don't know. But as for right now, I'm just continuing to build my businesses, build my income streams, and just build my skills. So people are asking, what if everything fails? First of all, it's not really possible because it's diversified at this point. Obviously you have to start with one thing and focus on that, but it's diversified enough to the point where I'm good. At least I think so. But, so keep growing that, keep expanding, but I have skills. I have legitimate skills that'll make me money. There's things that I can do to make money that I don't want to do. I can pick up the phone, call someone and make money. I can go knock on someone's door and sell something. I don't want to do that, but it's like I can. I have those skills. I have the market. I can go run Facebook ads, do influencer shout outs. I can always go set up a Shopify store. There's so much money to be made out there. When you have a legitimate skill, in my opinion, this is huge. You will never be unemployed, because if you can't, for whatever reason, figure out how to make money for yourself, there will always be a business willing to hire you. Because if you can make someone more money, they're obviously going to bring you on. If you can work solely based on commission and you think you can make me more money, I'll hire you immediately if I have the need for it. It's not even have a need for it. It's if you can make someone more money, you will get paid. It's really as simple as that. It's the direct thing. But all these kids coming out of school knowing how to do art, literature and crap and paint and write, it's like a lot of that's not really in high demand, but it doesn't directly make people more money. So you see where that problem's coming from. I see a lot of kids who, they invest this money, maybe they enjoy their time in college. A lot of people, it's the social aspect, that's cool. You don't need college for that, in my opinion. It's like I just moved out here to California. I can go to USC, UCLA, I have all these friends here. It's like I can go live that college life. I can go to the parties, just be in that environment if I want to, and not have to pay $50,000 a year. So it's like you really don't need that for your social aspect, in my opinion. A lot of people go just to say they're going. That's what the normal people do. You want to fit in, that's cool. I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with that. A lot of people who are entrepreneurs kind of at a younger age and figure that out. Most people in the last couple of years, in my opinion, really started to get into it like in their young 20s. But now there's becoming an increasingly amount of kids who are like 15, 16, 17, really starting to figure out this business stuff and starting to make a little bit of money. But in that transition point from high school to college, they don't want to go to college. They want to pursue business, but they're not quite making enough. They haven't quite solidified it. Maybe there's only 1 or 2 income streams. They're not fully comfortable, and their parents don't really support it. So they end up having to go to college. They ruin potential. Killing potential is like the #1 thing of school that pisses me off. Killing potential. And I haven't gone to college, so this is just based on what other people have told me, what my own research has led me to believe and conclude, and just my opinion on it. I have friends in my entrepreneur community, my circle, who are not fully taking advantage of their potential because of school. That's an issue, and it really upsets me. I'm telling them, like, dude, you got to do something drastic at that point if you know what you want to do and it makes logical sense. If you're making money but you're not able to scale and really do what you want because of school, that's holding you back. a lot of people, you know, you should go to school if you don't know what you're doing, if you're not making money in business. At that point, you kind of have to, in my opinion. I don't think I would have taken time off from high school to college. I would have probably just directly gone to college if I didn't have an income. I wouldn't have taken time off to figure it out, because at that point, for me at least, my parents would have kicked me out. How would I afford it? So I really had to figure it out in high school. That led to me, well, all my friends are still back home in Minnesota in high school. I'm out here in California, not in school, focusing on my business. So just growing that stuff, that for me, like being able to take advantage of this potential. Everything is positioned super interestingly right now. It's just the internet, insane, a lot of money to be made. It depends on what you want to do. I know a lot of friends doing a lot of different businesses. I mean, just the other day I met a dude who owns two like $2.5 million liquor stores in Long Beach. Like liquor stores, they make crazy cash flow and it's long-term focused. It's never going anywhere. So it's like there's just money to be made everywhere, both physical and digital. I'm focusing more on the online end of things just because that's what interests me. But doing what you want to do, potential is everything. I see a lot of people end up stopping or just not fully pursuing something because of school. School is just the biggest killer of creativity, of everything, of entrepreneurship. It really, it sucks. I don't agree with it. I don't like the current school structure. Like I said, it has to change. It has to at some point because it's starting to not work and we're seeing the repercussions of that, but it has to change. And it might take decades to do that, but it will. And when that time comes, I'm 100% right there publicly and financially supporting that change. So very curious just to see what happens. I'm also curious to know your guys' opinions on dropshipping versus college and just pursuing business. What do you want to do? Like what's your opinion on it? What do you think people should do? What's your advice? Drop it in the comments down below. I'm just kind of curious to hear people's thoughts on this subject. I think it was an interesting one. Nobody's ever made that case, dropshipping versus college, so I thought it was kind of, it made sense. I can validate it from a lot of different points. Obviously, you gotta just be logical with it. If you're gonna drop out of school or not pursue school, that's a big deal. So be logical with the decision. I'm very logical with everything I do. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, I am curious just to kind of hear your thoughts on this subject, so be sure to drop it in the comments down below. And if you did enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like down below. And of course, join the family by hitting that nice looking subscribe button. And I post every single day, so I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.